the flag of the United States.
This year marks the 25th anniversary of the United States Air Force, and your Flag Day Committee is pleased to have the United States Air Force Band participating in today's Flag Day ceremonies. Our honored guest for Flag Day is known and admired by all of us. When we think of Red Skelton, we think of Clem Cadiddlehopper, Freddie the Freeloader, Sheriff Deadeye, Junior the Mean Little Kid, Cauliflower McPug, and the little old man in red and his characters. But too few of us know about Red Skelton, the patriotic American. The Red Skelton that broke all records selling war bonds during World War II. The Red Skelton that entertained American troops during the Korean conflict. The Red Skelton who made all of us think about our country when he recorded his Pledge of Allegiance to the flag in 1969. So at this time, on behalf of your Flag Day Committee of the United States Congress, I am proud to present to you a great American, Mr. Red Skelton.
I've been given permission to dispense with all formalities in recognizing everyone here. I just say, friends, thank you very much. It's actually, it's quite flattering to hear applause without doing anything. And I'm very proud to be standing in Congress today without a subpoena in my pocket. And it's quite an honor to be standing here and knowing that I haven't made one campaign promise. I've been asked to recite the Pledge of Allegiance, and to me it's rather dear for this reason, as I have found a long time ago, that patriotism is not a tradition, it's a family privilege, and it's something that we should all cherish. And I know there's been great speeches made from this platform here. Nothing that I'll say will be can be compared with what has been said. But I've always been fascinated with speeches. One of the greatest speeches I think I've ever heard was when I was a small boy, and we boys and girls had just finished reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. and our teacher called us together, and he said, boys and girls, I have been listening to you recite the Pledge of Allegiance all semester, and it appears that it has become monotonous to you. Or could it be you do not know the meaning of those words? If I may, I would like to recite the Pledge of Allegiance and give you a definition for each word. I, me, an individual, a committee of one, pledge, dedicate all of my worldly good to give without self-pity, allegiance, my love and my devotion to the flag, our standard, Old Glory, a symbol of courage, and wherever she waves there is respect, because your loyalty is everybody's job. Of the united, that means we have all come together. States, individual communities that have united into 48 great states. 48 individual communities, all with pride and dignity and purpose, all divided by imaginary boundaries, yet united to a common cause, and that's love of country, of America. And to the republic, a state in which sovereign power is invested into representatives chosen by the people to govern, and the government is the people. And it's from the people to the leaders, not from the leaders to the people, for which it stands. One nation, meaning so blessed by God, indivisible, incapable of being divided, with liberty, which is freedom, the right of power for one to live his own life without fear, and justice, the principle and qualities of dealing fairly with others, and for all, which means, boys and girls, it's as much your country as it is mine. Since I was a small boy, 2 states have been added to our nation, and 2 words have been added to the Pledge of Allegiance, under God. Wouldn't it be a pity if someone were to say that is a prayer, and that be eliminated from our schools too? While you're all standing at this time, I would like for all of us to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and may God bless. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, Flag Day has become a tradition in the Congress, and one of the men responsible for making the program a success is our distinguished colleague from Missouri. We were all saddened some weeks ago to learn of his announced retirement at the conclusion of the 92nd Congress. Mr. Speaker, I know of no member of this body who has served his state and his nation in a more effective manner. Here's a man who truly loves the flag of the United States of America and the principles upon which it stands. With these thoughts in mind, I would like to recognize that gentleman today for his service to humanity and to his country, the esteemed gentleman from Missouri, the Honorable Durwood Hall.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, distinguished guests, honored services, colleagues and friends, we're assembled here today to renew our allegiance to the cause of freedom by paying honor to the national emblem of the Republic and to its people. Certainly we compliment you, Mr. Speaker, on continuing this recognition, and I can think of no more fitting place for such an observance than here in the People's House, where the sanctity of the representative process is preserved. It's somewhat difficult to put together the words that express proper feeling about our stars and stripes, because in this so-called era of relevance, such traditional words as duty, honor, country, sacrifice, patriotism, and dedication are oftentimes considered to be old hat or out of style. They're even ridiculed as trite words expounded by a chauvinistic generation that has no contact with the new wave. Now, I and we do not agree, for we know it was a dedicated people who wrote the Constitution that guides the destiny of this nation, the very document that paradoxically, and I fear sometimes unappreciatively, makes it possible for dissent to be heard and peaceful protest to be permitted when and where responsible. Relevance in today's world is important, but there is still room for reverence. Yes, reverence to the flag that has changed in design, but remains constant in representing our principles of freedom and our great nation. We know of the sacrifices that have been made to defend this nation, not only from the threat of military aggression, but from crime and deterioration and corruption from within. Many times those who criticize the loudest benefit the most from that protection. I know it was an honorable people who sought to establish a republic out of a wilderness, a place where lovers of freedom could realize the goals of which others only dream. If these words sound old hat, so be it. If they do not ring true to the beholder, that isn't my problem, for during the years that I've been permitted to exist on this earth and have been privileged to live and serve in these United States, I've learned that wherever our flag flies, the people who are fortunate enough to dwell in its shadow are assured of the opportunity to drink from the cup of freedom. History teaches that each generation of responsible citizens must reach out and grasp it anew. It's been written that when the hour is the blackest, the stars seem to shine the brightest. In this dark yet emerging hour of world turmoil and mistrust, it's heartening to realize that Old Glory has now been carried in the quest for peace to parts of the world that have not permitted its public display in the last generation. And it's good to know that once again the people of the United States have extended the hand of trust in the hope that it will be accepted with a mutual desire for peace. At the same time, we do not harbor any illusions that peace between different ideologies can be easily maintained. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know that the flag is but a piece of cloth. It has no human sense of feeling, no thought processes, no desires, character, sight, or sound. However, it's the symbol of those who do. When it's dishonored, the pain is felt by all, and when it's shown disrespect, we're all affected, and when it's spat upon, we're all humiliated. It was in 1867 that Charles Sumner wrote, "There is a national flag, he must be cold indeed, who can look upon its folds rippling in the breeze without pride of country." And then it was William Tyler Page who summed it all up by writing, "I believe in the United States of America as a government of, by, and for the people, whose just powers are derived from the consent of the governed, a democracy and a republic, a sovereign nation of many sovereign states, a perfect union, one and inseparable, established upon those principles of freedom, equality, justice, and humanity, for which American patriots sacrificed their lives and fortunes. I therefore believe it is my duty to my country to love it, to support its Constitution, to obey its laws, to respect its flag, and to defend it against all enemies," unquote. He best described a proper living together, the symbolism involved in love of country second only to God. As we celebrate the birth of our flag, let the word go forth from these chambers throughout the land of the timeliness of patriotism, participation, and dedication to flag and country.